Regardless of your jurisdiction, you have to take what we're about to talk about. You have to take the MBE. Welcome back to the Sandra Page Things. My name is Sandra, and today I will be finishing up my 3-part mini-series. Anywhere you go, you have to take the MBE in order to pass the bar exam. This is completely relevant to absolutely every single person taking the bar exam in the United States. In many jurisdictions and the UBE, the MBE is worth half of your score, so this is worth the most points. It's a big deal. So the temptation is to pour all your time and energy into it and practice as many questions as you can, but this is not the most effective way to prepare for the MBE. Guys, you know what the problem with that is. Too much mindless practice at the expense of knowing the rules patterns that show up on the MBE every single administration. So guys, I have always struggled with multiple choice and true false, but fortunately that's not relevant here. So I really hated this section of the bar exam. Really hated it. Huge overthinker and overanalyzer. Never mind all that. Today I'm going to share with you how I prepared the second time that ultimately helped me succeed on the MBE. Now I don't know my score because I didn't get my score back since I passed. And so as I mentioned in my essay exam, a lot of how I prepared for the MBE and the essays were interwoven. So some of these tips actually apply to preparing for essays, at least like preparing to know the information for essays. Obviously you need to practice essays, and obviously there's no secured transactions or whatever on the MBE, thank the Lord. But a lot of it can be interwoven. A lot of the time I was practicing MBE by doing my essay practice. I do want to say I'm going to show 2 products that I used preparing for the MBE. Neither of these are sponsoring me or this video.
However, if they would like to, please let me know.
The very first tip, I took my explanatory answers for every MBE question instead of mindlessly reading them and then moving on. I'm not a great learner from just like reading something. I have to experience it, if you will. I have lots and lots of flashcards, and I had to stop doing this by hand about halfway through because my hand was in so much pain because I wasn't just writing this, I was writing like lots of papers and stuff like that. I was handwriting everything until like January. Eventually I had to move to Quizlet to doing this. However, I will show you what I did. Here, you'll see a question, and this one says, does the federal court have subject matter jurisdiction over the cross-claim? Up in the top, you see it says Civ Pro. Down at the bottom, it says cross-claims. So, for absolutely every MBE question that I did, I wrote out the call of the question, I wrote the subject, and I wrote the topic. On the back, then, you'll see all of this little teeny tiny writing. That is the rules that the explanatory answer gave. So, this rule up here is the general rule. This rule right here is the specific rule. And down here will be any related rules that are similar but had nothing to do with what the question was asking. And I did this so that I could get it into my head what the questions were asking and what they weren't asking. Again, I did that for all the subjects in the MBE. I loved doing this too until my hand literally couldn't take it anymore. It worked though. Then for strategies and tactics, I actually can't show you how I used it because I just sold the book on eBay like 2 weeks ago. I read through the outlines and that was good. I mostly just used it for practicing more realistic questions. So if you're looking for something more realistic, go with that book, and I will insert a picture somewhere or put the link in the description or all of the things. But definitely make sure that you get that. That is the book that I used. I brought it with me when we were out like in the hall where you could have books and things like that. And that is what I used to warm up my brain with MBE questions before we had to go into the exam. I just did a couple of the questions and then I was getting them right and I was like, okay, I'm ready to do this. Going along with resources that I used, Critical Pass, and these are available on my eBay if you want to buy them. They're in really good condition because I didn't write on too many of them, like 3 or 4 maybe. Like you can see, they're in excellent condition. Like some of them have tabs, but other than that, they're not like beaten up or anything. So if you're studying for the bar exam and you need a good set of Critical Pass, check out my eBay. I'll link it in the description as well. Critical Pass are excellent because they give the subject, con law. It talks about the topic, equal protection, and then it talks about the issue, proving discriminatory classification. Then on the back, it gives the rules and kind of an outline. Oh, mastery keys from Barbary. They are at the bottom of a bin right now, so I'm not going to go digging for them, but if you go to Barbary's website, you're almost certain to see their mastery keys. I used those as well, and I do recommend them. I think that's probably my favorite resource from Barbary. They're really cool because they break it down into the issue and the rule, and then like a little story that applies the rule, and then some of them connect to an app and they have like a video that will help you visualize what's going on or have like a little mini lecture. And then like I said earlier, the MBE and essay I prepared very similarly. I did a lot of my MBE prep and my essay prep together by practicing essays that were on MBE topics. Because it's the Uniform Bar Exam, you don't have to learn state-specific rules, so it's an excellent opportunity to practice your essay skills but also learn the rules that you need to know for the MBE. I also would take apart like my sample answer essays from the book, and I would write out every single rule from those sample answers. They're general rules, and I wrote them all out so that I could remember them for the actual MBE, and that helped a ton. That being said, that is the end of my 3-part series. I hope this can be helpful to you as you prepare for your bar exam, whether you're taking the UBE or a state-specific exam. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a like. That really helps me out. And then subscribe for any future videos. I will not be doing any more bar exam related videos unless they're requested or I come up with a great idea, but I will be going into my job search and work vlog series for the month of January. Then in February, we're going to do a fun challenge. It'll be cool. It'll be finance focus. Be sure to subscribe for that if that's something that interests you. Lastly, go ahead, leave a comment below. Let me know what made you click on this video, whether you're taking the bar exam or you're just curious to know how it works. Let me know so that I can know who's watching these videos and why. On that note, I am going to say goodbye and thank you so much for watching. That is it for this 3-part series on how to pass the Uniform Bar Exam. Bye.